Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I am absolutely delighted that you guys will be joining me. I'm broadcasting live. As you know, I very much enjoy adult coloring, and I specifically enjoy sharing my adult coloring with my friends. Alright, so let me put on a little music here. I think that's going to sound nice. There we go, got that going. All right, so on this broadcast, I am continuing to work with Lost Ocean, Johanna Basford, and specifically I'm on the page that has the fish. You can see the work that I've already done on it. I've done a broadcast on this before, so if you want to see what I've covered, just go to YouTube. Search for Adult Coloring with ILene, I-L-E-N-E, Vick, and you'll be able to see what I've covered so far. So, quick review. I added shading on this side as a design element. I also added the lines and the hooks because I don't want you to be afraid to add things to your drawings. I use the Staedtler fine line. Sorry for the glare. Alright, let's try and fix that. Staedtler pigment liners to add the fishing lines. And I think it made it look really cute. And then of course I added the drop shadows on the different fish so you can see that on the page. Now, initially on the right, the page looked like this. I had the white areas because I was just coloring with the blue around each fish, but because I added the drop shadow, I felt that it was important to take away that white element because it was just too much and it was conflicting. Alright, so let me get set up here and show you what I'm going to be coloring tonight for you. Just got my new Joby camera stand, so bear with me if it's a little wiggly. So I'm getting used to it. And I'm going to be working on that particular fish right there. Let me move the book around so I can go ahead and access it while I'm coloring. And again, my apologies for the camera wiggle. I'm just getting used to my stand. Alright, so here's what I wanted to show you tonight, and in this broadcast in particular. One of the things that I've noticed that a lot of people don't do in their adult coloring is to color in or color over the design elements that are already in the book. So as you can see on this fish, it's got the lines on it, the dashed lines, solid lines. And so as I continue coloring all these fish with different mediums, such as the pencils, my fine liners, gel pens, glitter pens, etc., etc., etc. This one I just wanted to concentrate on to show you pencil. So I've already colored the one side. Let me pull you in just a little bit closer so you can get a nice view of this. There we go. And normally when I color, I tell you, especially if you are just coloring in the different elements here, that you don't go over the black lines. And the reason you don't want to do that is you don't want to lose that design element, right? But in this case, because of what I'm doing, I'm going ahead and I am coloring over the black lines because I'm making this a solid piece. So watch how this is turning out. I really like it. Again, I don't know why so many people are so afraid to do this, but they are, so you don't see it very often. And I'm here to encourage you to think about doing that as a design element. Now, I've done this with a gel pen. As you can see, my fish right here, that was done with a gel pen. And of course, that obliterates all the lines here. That's a whole different medium. You're not using pencil, you're using the pen. But I'm using pencil, and it's not obliterating the black lines, the design. Notice how I'm coloring in circles. And I've got a nice smooth color. And let's see, I've got my Tombow eraser with my little point on there. I was showing you that earlier, my last broadcast. I've got a little green here where I don't want it, so I'm going to carefully erase that. I love that precise point. Yeah. And don't forget too that I always recommend that you use your brush. Don't use your hand. And while I'm at it, when you color, you want to lay down a piece of paper so you can rest your hand so you don't smear your other coloring. So as I've said before, if I forget my tissue, my paper towel, tell me. Alright, so right now I'm coloring with my green pencil. And I also have my blender pencil that I like to use. Remember, if you use a blender pencil, the idea, of course, is to smooth out any gaps in your coloring, but please also remember that it's going to lighten your color a little bit. So let's say you put down a color and you decide that it's just too dark. You can somewhat save yourself by going over it with a blender pencil. But in this case, it was just fine. So I'm just going to go over this because I want to make sure I've gotten my pencil all the way to the edge. And keep in mind, you don't want to press very hard because your paper can only take so much wear and tear. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that again a little bit. Alright, so continuing on, I'm going to outline my fish in my same color. And I'm sorry, forgive me. I do use the Polychromos pencil. Hopefully that's not glaring too badly for you. Faber-Castell Dark Phthalo Green. Okay? Alright. So, this is a color along for you. You can either watch it live. Thank you for the people that have joined me already. Or I will be posting this on YouTube for you to watch after the fact. In this series of broadcasts right now, I'm simply coloring on this page, and I'm trying to show you different ways to color your fish. Alright, got a beautiful, beautiful green layer there. Okay, so continuing to rest my hand on the paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and do the outside of my fins. I'm also going to go ahead and, let me adjust my light here. I'm also going to go ahead and color this outline right here. And I think for giggles and laughs, I'm going to go ahead and color these curved sections. Take your time. That's what adult coloring is all about. And if you find yourself smearing over the edge a little bit, of course, sharpen your pencil. Alright, so I've got this going here. Now, because I've already colored this in a dark green, I need to decide what I want to do about here. I could just use this green pencil and go lighter on these white areas if I wanted. We have lots of things I can do here. Let me erase this. I've got a little bit of overage here. There we go. And also, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to take my black gel pen, when I can find it. That little puppy seems to have disappeared for the moment. So, well, bummer. So I'm going to go ahead and use my black paper mate. If you'll recall, I told you the paper mates make really good coloring on this. Excuse me for the wiggling, but I need to plug in my power source because I just got a low battery warning. There we go. All right. So if you see the cord, ignore it. All right. So I'm going to use my black paper mate here, just gently dotting my fisheye. And what I've been doing for a little bit of consistency is I've been going ahead and doing that on all my fish. I've just been pre-coloring the black eye. Then the center eye, I don't have to worry about it when I go to do the fish itself. It's no big deal really, but why, put your pen down, pick it up again, it's just hassles. All right. I'm going to color that eye there. I'm probably out of screenshot right now, so bear with me for a minute while I pick up a couple of these. There we go. All right, so back to the fish. You can see I've got a really nice coloring over the pattern of the fish. I'm going to go ahead and probably pick up an aqua blue. Let's see what I can find here. I could have picked up a marker if I wanted. I'm just going to stay on all pencil for this one. I don't want to throw you off by using too many different mediums here. And I always take a piece of paper and I check my color first. Yeah, I can work with that. I think that looks like a nice oceany color, the blue and the green. Got my tissue. And again, start lightly. Why? Because you may decide that that's how you want to stay with it, and it's easier to add to color instead of remove it. I'm coloring in little circles, as I've discussed before. The eye has a hard time seeing circles, so by doing that it makes for a much, much better pencil coverage. Okay. I'm going to move my light down a little bit here. Take your time. No reason to rush through this at all. Adult coloring is all about taking your time. I was telling you the other time in my last broadcast, I took a little poll on one of the community groups I belong to, and I said, what do you enjoy most about the adult coloring? The process, meaning the coloring, or the product, meaning what you get out of it. And overwhelmingly, I'd say 99% of the people said that they enjoy the process. So that being the point, you are in absolutely no rush to finish these. Kind of like enjoying a nice meal. Don't rush through it. Okay, so I've got my blue, I've got green in here. Now, what I'm going to do, well, let me do the front of the fish first. Again, little circles. Take your time. Now, I see some creases in the paper there that are playing havoc with what I just put down, laid down. So I'm going to go ahead and use my blender pencil that I was just telling you about. Don't forget to wipe off the tip of your blender pencil on white paper to keep it clean. Don't press hard with it. We're just literally smearing the pencil color to make it uniform. Alright. And I noticed my blue got on my white eye here, so I'm going to clean that up with my Tombow. And of course it wiped off some of my blue, so I need to fix it. Now if you wanted to, you could leave that just kind of as an effect around the eye. It's up to you. Hope you're enjoying the music. Okay. Alright, so I've got my green going, I've got my blue going, I've got my white in the middle here. You could leave the white as a design element, but I'm going to choose to color that now. I'm going to go really, really light here. I don't want it as dark as the rest of my fish. Just really light. Being careful not to color over the green that I put on that loop. And I'm going to go ahead and get my blender pencil. Clean it off on a white piece of paper, the tip like I showed you. And just do a really brief blending Does a beautiful job, cleans it up. Yeah, I like it. Oops, got a little white there. Hold on. I just missed that when I colored along the side. And if you feel that you need to go back and color where you missed, that's fine. Now I'm just tweaking and fine-tuning. All right. Simple but elegant. Looks good. All right. Now, let me turn my book a little bit. Oh gosh, that's wiggly. I'm so sorry. There's another fish that I want to do some coloring on. It's going to be this little guy here. Right there. Same principle here. I'm just going to use pencil. I'm going to color in my areas over the design. And again, I'm doing this just to show you that there's just a myriad of ways that you can color. Let me pull out just a little bit so we don't have too much confusion here. Okay. So, still using pencil. Let's work on some new colors here. Always test your color on paper before you do it. Make sure that they're going to fit. I've got a deep scarlet red that I'm going to be sharpening. Again, Polychromos, Faber-Castell. And I'm going to go ahead and color at least those two. I'm going to think about the third here, see what I want to do here. But again, I'm coloring right over the design element. Don't be afraid to do that. Again, I've got my paper towel that I'm laying my hand on. Don't you hate that when you're coloring and then all of a sudden your hand like jerks? It's like your muscles just go zit. Alright. Get my little eraser here. Let's get that out of there. Yeah. And of course my brush. Okay. Just so this video doesn't, or presentation doesn't get too long, this will be the last fish that I do this evening. If you're coloring along with me, super. If you're not, that's fine. If you've already colored this page, then now you've got some different ideas, don't you? Okay, let's see here. Now, of course, you got to be very careful about keeping an even pressure on your pencil. You don't want the top part of that red looking darker than the bottom part. I'm also very slightly turning my pencil every time I lift it, and that's so that I keep a nice sharp point. So I pick up and turn, just a little touch. Makes your pencils last a lot longer because you're not having to sharpen them all the time. And as you can see, this design element was shorter, this one's longer because it went all the way down to the bottom, all the way to the top. I'm also satisfied with the smoothness in this section, so I'm not even going to bother going over it with my blender pencil. There we go. Alright, let's hit the third section here. I'm hoping that you're getting some ideas while you're watching this. Don't feel that you necessarily need to stay inside of the drawn lines. You can color over them. And as I'm looking in my viewfinder, I don't know if that's glare. Oh yeah, that was glare. It looked like that middle section had white in it, but it's just from the light. Okay, so I'm going to continue my pattern. Let's see. Let me add my black eye. Let's see. I'll do that in a minute. There we go. Now, the reason I'm doing this now is because that gives me a better feel for how this whole thing is going to look. There we go. Now we can start making some decisions about the colors. Or some more decisions, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to make this red. I'm going to make this red. Little circles on there to confuse the eye. Smooth out pencil. And let's see, I'm going to make this red. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask while we're all talking about this. Yes, I love my polychromos. Yes, I do use other pencils. I have Derwents, but I don't like them, and I can't wait until I run out of them. That was my first set that I bought, and just found out that I like polychromos a lot better. Alright, got a little red here. Boy, I love that tiny eraser. Again, it's the Mono Zero by Tombro. And I really do appreciate all of you showing up tonight for this. Alright, I'm going to hit that with some red. Balance it out a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to color in this whole area red. Again, the design element's still going to show through. No harm, no foul. Take my time. And let's see. I've got some tiny little triangles here that would separate the color. So I'm going to go ahead and do my fantail in red. But I'm going to do this really light. Let me show you why. Very light. So same color, same color pencil, but I'm not pressing as hard, and I'll show you why in a second. Little circles. I am not coloring over the lines, even though I'm doing the tail all one color. I'm staying within the segments. Yeah. Now I'm going to sharpen my pencil. And using the same color, I'm going to darken the tail right here. I'm just doing it near the top. Yeah, I like how that looks. Got outside a little bit here, going to hit that. Lighten that a tad. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my marker. This is my Paper.Mate marker, because I want to highlight this with some black. I'm really taking my time on this one here. Hand is still laying on my paper towel. And by the way, if you hear very soft snoring in the background, that would be my dog Vicky. I don't know if you can hear it or not. If you can't, I just told on myself. Now, let me show you another little thing you can do too. I'm going to move my camera up just a touch. Is with this black marker, if you want to extend the design, yeah, There you go. That really makes it look cool. Okay, so now we're going to do our next segment here. And honestly, if I wanted to change my mind about where I've colored in red completely, I could, you know, hit this with black. I may do that. Don't think about that. Again, your design, do what you want. If you think that's going to make it look cool. Hi Hex 1990, how you doing? I'm doing interactive coloring. Okay, so we're going to finish this. I'm in the Johanna Basford book, Lost Ocean. I'm about to go off air in a few minutes, but since you missed me, you can go to YouTube and look for Adult Coloring by, with ILene Vick, ILENE Vick, because this whole video will be up there. Okay, that's cool. How you doing this evening? You doing all right? Tonight's coloring, I'm talking about using your pencil completely over the design of the item that you're coloring. Some people are really afraid to do that, is just do a complete coloring. And I'm here to encourage you to do that. That's what this is all about tonight. Alright, so I'm going to color that. I'm in Tennessee. Where are you from? Let's see here. So I've got that colored. Texas. Cool. I hear good things about your state in the news. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with black. I'm using my Papermate black marker. You missed me a little earlier when I went ahead and used it to extend the fins on the fish. Okay, let me color this in right here. Get that little snout going. Oh, I bet you do. It, great state. Where about in Texas? Northern Texas, southern Texas, east, west. You're Dallas. Gotcha. So what do you think of the coloring so far? You like it? Alright. So I'm going to catch that little tail portion right here where I've got my 4 triangles. Can you hear the music okay in the background? Good. Yeah, I thought that would be kind of cool, so if I'm not talking at the moment, you can hear a little bit. You know what? I'm going to play with this design over the eye right here. Again, I've got this marker. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down just for fun. Yeah, cool. Good. Glad you like it. Alright, so I've outlined the fish with the black. I colored in full with the red. Now I have to do something with these fins because one choice that I have here is I can color it all in black. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. But it make it look pretty dramatic. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think I'll color it all in black. Now again, notice I'm not just going up and down and being wild about it. I'm just very carefully coloring. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's going to look pretty cool. And I will show you what I colored earlier that you missed while I was broadcasting. But give me a second here to finish up this guy or gal. Alright, so we've got that colored in. So tell me, in your adult coloring, Hicks, did you think about coloring a whole segment like in one color like I've done? You know, a lot of people tend to color in the blocks and stuff like that. I was just curious. Have you ever had a hesitation about doing that? I'm going to hit this a little more. There we go. Just even that out a tad. And I've got the color variation in the tail from light to dark. And now I'm just kind of smoothing stuff out here. Again, coloring in circles. Oh, yeah, a lot of people are hesitant about it. But what do you think about what I did here? Does that calm your concerns? Okay, so I've got that white spot and that white spot. Now I'm just cleaning it up. Good. Okay, I'm going to pick up the camera and show you this other fish I did. Okay, that was the one I did just a few minutes ago when you weren't here. Let me move my light. And if you'll notice, I used the green on top of the lines, and I made it one whole color. And I don't think it ruins it at all. Let's see, this might wiggle a little bit. I'm moving a couple of things here. Let me find another fish that I've done that's similar, just like that. Let's see. Okay, we did that one. And I did that one. Now see, that's got the different colors. So, and then this one I did in the black on my last broadcast. So I was doing this. Let's see if I can find the other fish here. Yeah, then I did this one. So the point of this is, now that you've seen this, don't be hesitant to color over in one color. Because it does. It looks really good. Let me find the other fish. Yeah, there we go. Okay? All right. So this is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Again, you can find this broadcast on YouTube. You can also find my tutorials on YouTube. And I think, forgive me if I didn't recall that you were with me the other night, but you can reach me by email. And sure, you're welcome. Were you with me the other night when I did the other broadcast? You can reach me at Adult Coloring with ILene, I-L-E-N-E Vick, all one word, Adult Coloring with ILene Vick at charter.net. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate everybody that came in. Have a great evening, and thank you so much for visiting me from Texas. God bless. Oh, good. Watched replay. Oh, super. All right. Have a good evening. Good night.